Jesus' Sermon on the Mount is one of his most famous teachings, found in the Gospel of Matthew chapters 5 to 7. It takes place on a hillside overlooking the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus speaks to a large crowd of people. The sermon includes several key themes and teachings. 1. The Beatitudes, Matthew 5 to 3 to 12. Jesus starts by pronouncing blessings, the Beatitudes, on those who are poor in spirit, mourn, are meek, hunger and thirst for righteousness, are merciful, pure in heart, peacemakers, and persecuted for righteousness. These blessings turn worldly expectations upside down, showing that God's kingdom values humility, mercy, and a pursuit of righteousness over wealth, power, and status. 2. Fulfillment of the law, Matthew 5:17 to 20. Jesus emphasizes that he has not come to abolish the law, the Jewish commandments, but to fulfill it. He calls his followers to a deeper righteousness than that of the Pharisees and teachers of the law, urging them to follow not just the letter of the law but its spirit. 3. Antitheses, Matthew 5:21 to 48. Jesus offers a series of contrasts, then teaching a deeper understanding of the law. For example, he intensifies the command against murder by saying that even anger is wrong, and he intensifies the command against adultery by saying that lust is also sinful. He also challenges his followers to love their enemies and pray for those who persecute them, breaking with the traditional eye for an eye. 4. Religious observance, Matthew 6 to 1 to 18. Jesus teaches that acts of piety such as giving to the poor, praying, and fasting should be done in secret, not for show. 5. The importance of trusting God, Matthew 6:19 to 34. Jesus encourages his followers not to store up earthly treasures, but to seek first the kingdom of God and trust that God will provide for their needs. He reassures them not to worry about food, clothing, or the future, as God knows their needs. 6. Judging others and the golden rule, Matthew 7 to 1 to 12. Jesus warns against judging others harshly and encourages people to treat others as they would want to be treated. Summing this up in the well-known golden rule, do to others what you would have them do to you. 7. The narrow and wide gates, Matthew 7:13 to 14. Jesus speaks of the narrow gate that leads to life and the wide gate that leads to destruction, urging his followers to choose the difficult but righteous path. 8. True and false prophets, Matthew 7:15 to 20. Jesus warns to be on guard against false prophets who lead people astray. He teaches that people will be recognized by their fruits. 9. The wise and foolish builders, Matthew 7:24 to 27. Jesus concludes with a parable about two builders, one who builds his house on rock, a solid foundation, and one who builds on sand. The one who builds on rock represents those who hear Jesus' words and put them into practice, while the one who builds on sand represents those who do not. 10. The power of prayer and forgiveness. Jesus emphasizes the importance of sincere prayer and forgiveness. In Matthew 6 to 9 to 13, the Lord's Prayer shows us how to approach God humbly and with trust, while in Matthew 6:14 to 15, he stresses that forgiving others is essential for receiving forgiveness from God. Overall, the Sermon on the Mount calls for a radical rethinking of how people should live in relationship to God and others, emphasizing love, humility, forgiveness, and trust in God's provision. It challenges conventional wisdom and points to a kingdom where the values of God's reign, justice, mercy, peace, and righteousness are paramount. Thanks for watching. May God bless you.